Hello everyone and welcome to Animanga Dojo. Today we'll be reviewing a very underrated Netflix anime called Be the Beginning. So without further ado, let's get started. The plot. On the islands of Cremona, a vigilant runs amok. Celebrated by some and hunted by others, the notorious Killer Bee takes justice into his own hands, armed with a sharp blade and superhuman abilities. Unable to apprehend this renegade, the Royal Investigation Service calls upon the expertise of Keith Flick, a seasoned yet eccentric detective who was relegated to the Archives Department following a personal loss. As crimes in Cremona begin to escalate from stealthy executions of wrongdoers to sophisticated strikes on public figures, it soon becomes clear that there is more than one person responsible for this. With the help of his impulsive sidekick, Lily Hoshina, and unexpected aid from the elusive Killer Bee himself, Kite begins to unravel plots involving secret organizations, domestic terrorism, and human experiments. When the involvement of Royal Investigation Service extends beyond the scope of justice, the extent of the government's corruption, as well as the trustworthiness of close allies, are thrown into question. Our opinion. Be the Beginning is a murder mystery anime which tries to combine two parallel stories, one of Kite Flick and the other of Kokyu. It is at that moment the mystery is sort of resolved when their stories merge. Now each murder mystery has their own pros and cons. So let's discuss them and I hope they will help you to decide if this anime is right for you or not. Positives of the anime. Setting a strong base. The previous murders by Killer Bee and the backstories of the characters sets a very strong base for the anime which goes in sync with the murder mystery. Moreover, the addition of supernatural things to it will definitely excite you as well as put you in a wondering state as to how all these things are connected. The characters are as well quite likable, which perfectly adds to this point. Action sequences and animation. The animation can be considered as one of the best in the field. Well, I'm not exaggerating it, but you will surely second me if you watch the anime. Apart from that, the action sequences are also quite nicely executed, which keeps you thoroughly engaged and entertained. Shocking twist. I know this has to be an expected thing when we talk about any murder mystery, but I just wanted to highlight this point as Be the Beginning has done commendable job in this field. Even if you were able to predict the ending of this anime, it doesn't end how you think it would. Rather, the directors gave it an emotional ending which will make you think what was right and wrong. Talking about the negatives. Confusing at first. I will definitely admit that the anime starts on a very confusing note. Initially, it is very hard for anyone to think and connect dots with all the new stuff coming up. So I would suggest just to go with the flow and be patient because eventually, after some 3 to 4 episodes, you will get a hold of it. Many ups and downs. The anime starts and makes you engage with a very positive note, but after a few episodes, it will add some unnecessary fun or comic elements to it, which will degrade the build up momentum. This happened a couple of times in the anime, which I personally didn't like. For some of you, it may be the exact opposite. Connection between the two parallel stories. As I mentioned previously, that you get to see two parallel stories, one of Kite Flick and the other of Kokyu. The connection or relatability is quite flickering in the anime. One of the reasons for this could be the time devoted for building up their background stories was pretty less. Also, there were characters involved in those stories who were quite underdeveloped. Considering all the positives and negatives mentioned before, I feel this is a pretty decent, underrated short anime. I would recommend this anime to those who are very much into the mystery and thriller genre, but consider checking the negatives before watching. People into the supernatural genre can as well give this a try, as this has a fair amount of supernatural stuff in it. Thanks for watching. Hope you like it. And if you do, then please share this with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe our channel as many more reviews are coming soon.